time for a little update on the outdoor kitchen. This siding here came from our cabin. It was extra, and so it's tongue and groove, and so I feel like I can just put it straight up onto it, and it'll do nicely to seal it. I was thinking about using expandable foams on the corners. So that's what I'm going to do. I've only brought a few pieces home to see if we liked it, but it matches the red brick wall pretty well. And so I'm going to start cutting it and at least do the back side. Actually, I think I might wait. I think I need to put the top on first. So I need to put the cross braces in. I need to put pieces around the pillars on both sides, or the posts, and then make sure it's all squared up. And then I need to put it in here before I put the doors in. So I just need to put it in around the openings. And today I was working on getting all these put in, and I have the extension cord running my dinner right now. So I put in these, and I'm waiting for the extension cords because I got all these cuts. I'm prepping probably for tomorrow. I'll hit it up after work again. But once I get this section done, this section's pretty much framed in as well. Then I gotta weld and cut the steel for in here. I'm gonna do it the whole span to support the front weight of the concrete slab that'll hold the barbecue. So I need to figure out if I am doing it with enough support. So I might do a couple, one up front, and I'll probably put it down low enough to where I could put a pressure treated lumber on the top of the steel, just so it'll be easier to screw in the hardy backer or the plywood for the base for where I do the concrete. And now I'm thinking about it, maybe I know a lot of people put plywood down, but now I'm starting to wonder if I should just put hardy backer down. But I'm not sure how I'll be able to screw in the forms on the side. Well, you're getting to hear a little bit about my thought process. But okay, so while I have my welder out, I need to build a beam that's the same height as that to span this distance going across here, and then tuck in there. That's so I can put the shelf where the Traeger's going to go, and I can store a cord of wood underneath here. Same thing over on this side for the outdoor fire pit and the fire thing there, the fire solo stove thing. So since I have the welder out, I'm going to take measurements, make some cuts, and just a couple welds a piece for each of these, and that'll be good. While I had the welder out doing the water feature, I decided to go ahead and cut these pieces that I needed for the cross beams, and then I'm going to cut pieces and lay them across the top to tie them together, help hold and distribute the weight. And then we'll lay a sheet of plywood over it, and then we'll do the concrete counters, I believe, because I got pricing for the artificial granite type stuff, and it was over $7,000, and I think I could pour everything for around $1,000. So we'll look at doing that. So besides the outdoor kitchen, I'm also trying to get the upper flat part more level, and we added some boulders to go along the back side. I didn't want to put too much pressure on the neighbor's wall, so we put a row of boulders as a sort of retaining area, and made some progress in the backyard on the dirt part. So here I started finally welding all the pieces together and getting that structure
solid. And I left those two pieces where I'm working out until the end so I could have space to work.
After cutting the 2x2 steel, I made a notch at the length. I went out and measured it. And so this will fit under the lip of the angle iron. And so I'm gonna use the cutoff wheel to cut down the sides and then weld it up underneath.
I basically did two pieces just like this, but I'm only showing you one.
So this one I've already tack welded in place, both ends. And so you can see cutting that lip allows me to put a weld right underneath all edges for a really secure weld. So almost done, and I'll be able to put the platform down. Then I'll have to look at doing the rebar and pouring the concrete. I do have to put in, I can cut this length of pipe here and put it in here, and then I need to figure out where center is and make sure I'm coming that out, and then I can pour a couple inches of concrete, maybe 3, to make the pond bed.
So the last bit was just doing the final cross braces since I was finishing up there. So just added those last two, filling them in with the welds and getting them tight and structurally sound. So this thing I feel is really, if not overbuilt, definitely enough. We were making great progress and I had the hardy board already. So I was just taking measurements and cutting holes to lay the hardy back down. And one thing that I regret now at this point is that I didn't do the like a layer of sealant, and I'm not sure what sealing material I'm even going to use at this point, but you know how people do shower pans and stuff like that. I wish I used that material before I even poured the concrete. I think that would have been better. But I will do that over the concrete I have now and the space I have now before I do the stucco coat.
Now that we have the hardy backer down, we're going to tape the seams. I'm probably making professionals cringe here, but I don't know really what else I should be doing, or there's probably a mesh tape I should be using, but I'm just trying to seal the seams so that the concrete won't just drain out there or leak. Especially I got a bigger gap on this side, and I don't know if this is the best way to be doing this, but that's what I'm doing. I need to cut, this is going to be the drain, and so I want to have this at the level of the drain, which is going to be slightly lower than all the other corners, so it drains and we don't leave water standing in here. So I need to cut that, but I also need to glue everything underneath now that I have the lines coming through, and those can be left tall. I can cut those down depending on how I'm going to distribute the water. We wanted to do a sort of a central thing that spills in, so we can either just run that, or we can run both, or we can run the one on here that will just put water into the fountain to disperse over the sides. And so I got Shane here, my son, he's helping me, and he's the one who writes some of the music for some of these videos. And so we're gonna keep working.
So you'll see the pipes here moving in a second, and that's me underneath getting those glued in so they're tight and ready to go.
Time lapse died on my phone, but where we're at now is we drilled holes
into the sides, and we laid out this grid of rebar, and we are now going to tie them together, and then we shall be ready to pour. It's funny that I finished the welding and putting all this base in and even pouring the concrete all in one day, and I feel like I should have done this way earlier in the summer, and I probably could have finished this whole thing this summer. But I had so many projects I was doing, and I got kind of unmotivated and wanted to have more fun. And so I kind of let this slide, but I was happy to get this done in one day. I wanted to take a quick peek of what's happening underneath, see if there's any bowing or anything like that. And so far, it looks like a little bit of bowing on that seam right there. Oh, cracked. But that's not too surprising because that's where we dump everything. So maybe I'll prop that up with a 2x4. But obviously the strength's going to come when the concrete cures and the rebar. So I will go ahead and prop that up, but we only got a couple of pours left. So other than that, it held up really well. So after spreading all the concrete around with the shovel and filling all the spaces and voids and trying to get the air bubbles out, we used some wood to act as a scree to try to get it all level. But ultimately I couldn't have it perfectly level because I didn't want any low spots where water would sit. And so I made the drain the lowest part and then built it up to the corners. And ultimately I did test this out later on, and it drained really well and without low spots. Okay, so I think I'm done. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I worked on. And I did it by eye, just not the best way to do things in construction. But anyway, that little low spot right there is the drain. Got tape over it right now. And so I've tried to do everything from there. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, just looking around, that it's gonna drain there. And so this pipe here is going to be, I believe, going to be the main, meaning the water's going to fill the pond from this. That one I put in because we were thinking about putting in like some sort of water feature in the middle of the pond, or I don't know what you call it. But so I have this pipe coming up, and we haven't bought anything for what would be sitting here. Originally I wanted to just drill a hole out of a nice, really nice big red rock boulder. But two things, I didn't know how I'd get it up here. You know, a big enough one to make it look nice. And so we're kind of just thinking of maybe finding something to put here. My wife was thinking a giant vase, but haven't found anyone that we can agree on. So it might just be a separate little waterfall feature in the middle. And then we can either run that and just have it drain back in, or do what the original plan is, which, you know, you can do both maybe, probably, is I'm gonna have a stainless steel sheet metal bent so it'll be perfectly straight and even mounted to this, and it'll lip right over, and then it'll drain in or come down the water wall, which has already been sealed if you've seen the other videos of this project. And there's drain, a big slot drain here and a big slot drain here, and I concreted an apron, if you saw the other videos, so water will basically from anywhere, it'll drain back in and fill in the reservoir. And taking another look under here, I did crack that one, probably from dumping the concrete in that area, but it held up well. I tried propping it after, and when I came back down, it was already fallen. So as a quick review, that big pipe into that yellow circle is a filter that drains into the big 27-gallon tank. There's a pump in there with a switch, drains into that 55-gallon drum,
which drains into that 55-gallon drum. And inside that drum, going up this point, that junction, is the pump that will fill the pond, recirculate the pond, or do the water feature. And that steel is probably overkill, but I'm not an engineer, I'd rather overkill it than not. And so, yeah, it's solid. And then when the concrete cures, it's going to be even more solid. Probably can walk on it without any issues for sure. So that's the rundown. So now we're going to wait for the concrete to cure. And if the weather holds up next week, I might go ahead and try to get the black stucco, smooth stucco, which is kind of be the same finish that this is. And we're going to do the whole bottom and sides so that, and then I'm going to seal it, and then it'll be ready for water. So looking forward to that. I'm going to use the same seal that I sealed the stonework. You can see how glossy it is even on the concrete. So I think it'll work good as the sealer for the stucco, because I just didn't know where to get pool plaster and stuff like that, nor do I know how to work with pool plaster. So hopefully that will be it.
It's splashing a bit over, but
Right now it's draining right back in.
yeah.